Hello, this is the Minor Dave Everist report, and I'd like to report tonight that I don't know if you've been hearing the news, but Ford and a bunch of other car companies seem to be short computer chips for their vehicles because modern cars have computer chips on it. And there's a shortage of chips because there's a shortage of gold and a shortage of silver because they can take silver and layer, we call it, and coat it with gold. And you can have computer chips, and silver and gold are both tied to industrial metals, to the electronics devices. You have gold and silver in your phone, plus probably some platinum and some other things. I'm not sure of all the minerals in it, but I know that there's gold in the chips. And so there's a shortage of gold to make the chips. The computer chips they need to make the Ford trucks or Ford vehicles. They had to shut down 2 plants, or they had to reduce they had to reduce the amount of people and how many shifts they were running because they didn't have enough chips. So they're only going to be running at each plant, the two different states. For Ford is only going to run one shift each. So, that's putting people on the unemployment line. And of course, there's other car manufacturers. There'll be a link to the index of all the information you can find on shortages of computer chips. And it's labeled, it'll be labeled in my description. You can go to that link and it'll take you to where they say they have a shortage. And then, well, they're trying to cover up that there's a gold shortage because, see, the retail, like jewelry or coinage, if it be, or bullion, um, well, there could be shortages in that, but where it would really hurt is if it was shortage for the industrial wholesale market, not being able to get it, and it's because these banks have been, these hedge funds and banks and bullion banks have been, we call it overselling the market. And right now, J.P. Morgan, they're not, as far as I can find out, they're not shorting anything, but they're leasing out all their gold to everybody that has, because the market, it would collapse the banks. And I mean the Federal Reserve banks like J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, not your community bank, not your regional bank. I mean a Federal Reserve bank. And that means that, like J.P. Morgan, there's other broker, Les Schwab, those guys. Because see, or even Ameritrade, they're brokers, but they're also investment bankers. And you can run a bank account through them and not having any different between any other bank account. I mean, as far as what it operates, it's just you can do investments too. But anyways, and it's not insured FDIC. It's not guaranteed. You could lose your butt in it. Anyways, if the brokerage went belly up, but as soon as the industry figures out there's an industrial shortage, they'll be scrambling to get it. And even though like Ford isn't a chip maker, they may have to scramble to get silver so that they can have something to trade for the chips to the manufacturer, so they can get their chips to make their trucks. So you're going to see, once you see them start buying in, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to make deals with the miners. People that own mining claims now might be in a driver's seat instead of the banksters. Have a good day. My links will be in the description on my research. Have a good evening.